What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today, we're checking out a game called Scythe, which is kind of like a digital board game in an alternate World War I setting where you have giant battle mechs. And so it takes place in, like, Europe, and there's a factory in the middle of the map, and everybody's fighting over the factory. And so you've got countries like the Nordic countries, you've got Russia, you've got Poland, and the goal is essentially to gather popularity and power along the way in order to win the map. If you wanted to get this game after seeing this video, I got a link for you down in the description. Check that out for sure. So anyways, this is a sponsored video, so don't use this for any types of review purposes or anything else like that. It was sent over by the developers. Thank you, appreciate that, from Asmodee Digital. And so anyways, if you don't know what this game is all about, it's a strategy game. It's a lot like Civ or any of those other titles. It's kind of an asymmetric board game where everybody has different resources, different areas of the map. Everybody's scrambling to grab what they want, and then you've got to strategize in order to make sure that your long-term game plan plays out. So, like, you know that I'm bad at strategy games, so you know this isn't going to go well, right? You should just accept that right now. But we are going to check out the game. I think it's going to be pretty cool, and so let's dive straight on in. Let's play the game. We'll start a new game right here. We've got a couple of bots right now. I think I'm going to let the bots kind of be like easy mode for the moment, since like we can roll randomly. We can be Russia. We can be pretty much whoever we want. We can be Crimea. Let's just put it on random, I guess. And we'll like, nah, let's be Russian. Let's be Russian. We will go forth and we will take the map for the glorious comrades. And so we've got promo cards and we've got Rusviet Industrial. I have no idea what that means, but hey, it's already checked by default. So we're just going to leave it where it is. Let's start the game off. She has a pet tiger. I feel like that would require a lot of upkeep. Like, you got to pay a lot of coins for that unless you live in, like, Texas or something. I saw that Joe Rogan thing where Joe Rogan says that there's more tigers in, like, captivity in Texas than there are in, like, all of the wild or something like that. I don't know how true it is, but it feels kind of true. So I'm just going to go with it. Hopefully, we'll be able to, like, work with the upgrade system, make things happen. The game does have a really, really expansive upgrade system for, like, how you want to play on the map and everything else. Really kind of allow you to, like, build up momentum and kind of steamroll the enemy. But we'll see how it goes. So we are Rusviet. Good. It feels good to be the Rusviet. So it's our turn. We've started off. Now, we have these workers over here. So, like, let me go through the UI real fast and kind of get you figured out. Because, like, I'm still kind of on the fence about the UI as well. Like, I don't understand completely what I'm doing. Luckily, there is lots of stuff you can do. And so, we've got a number of tiles up here. We've got the stars. So, this is the most important thing. If you get 6 stars, the game is over. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you win. Because, like, your economics, the way that you fought your battles, how many units you have, how much land you have, sometimes it's advantageous, even if you can get your 6th star, to not get that 6th star until you start arranging your economy a little bit better, or until you wipe out the enemy's army in a battle real fast and take their land. Like, it's up to you the way that you want to play it, but ultimately the game ends when any player has 6 of these stars. You can get a star for 6 upgrades, 4 mechs, 4 structures, 4 recruits, 8 workers, 1 completed objective, a combat victory, you can do that 2 times, 18 popularity, or 16 power. This right here is kind of the hard grind for, like, how many points you get based on what you have in your inventory when the game ends. We're not going to get into that right now. We've got our structural bonuses, and so we've got farms and tundras. So apparently we can get a structure bonus. It looks like I get food and I get oil is what it appears to be. And then the number of farms or tundras with your structures on them. Okay, so if we have 1, we get 2 points, 4 points, 6 points, 9 points. So obviously expands a little bit, so it's a really, really good idea for us to have, like, buildings on 4 separate tiles. And, like, you are in the exact same spot as I am right now. I'm going to bumble my way through this, and hopefully I do not despair and destroy the great reputation of Soviet beer. That's what I'm hoping, but, you know, it might go bad. We also have objectives. Objectives will give you extra stuff. Every faction has different objectives, so the goals of the Russians are different than the goals of the Nords, are different than the goals of the Crimeans, are different from the goals that, like, the, you know, Polish are trying. Everybody has different ones. So we have a beloved pacifist, have 0 power, 13 popularity, and 5 workers. Or we can control the territory with your character exactly 1 mech, exactly 1 worker, and at least 5 resources at the end of your turn. a wolf amongst the sheep. So we have a territory that has our main army, which is this guy right here. It'll have a mech on it. It'll have 1 worker, and it'll have 5 resources just laying on the ground, as far as I know. And I assume that it's trying to get me to, like, bait the AI when I do that or something like that, or bait the other player to try and come steal it, and that's what it means by a wolf among the sheep. Because we've got our we got our army in there right next to a whole bunch of resources that they could potentially pick up. We've got our recruit bonuses. And so every time we recruit, we get +2 coins, we can get +2 popularity, we can get +2 power, or we can get +2 combat cards. And we've also got our mechs. Our mechs can have different abilities like Riverwalk, Township. We've got People's Army. We've got Speed, so we can move a little bit faster. Those are all kind of self-explanatory. And then our faction ability is Relentless. You may choose the same section on your player mat as the previous turn. So normally, if I play any of these cards right here, I can't play them next turn. I've got to wait for them to recharge until the turn after. Which brings us to the next point. We've got different resources up here. That's how many stars we've accumulated over the course of the game. We've got 5 coins right now. We have 2 popularity. We have 3 power. Power is very important for combat because power is basically just a raw measurement of how many armies and how much reinforcement and how much logistical capacity you have for war. So basically what will happen is, let's say if there was an enemy army right there and they had a power of 2. We have our army right here. We can move right to there, and we have a power of 3. However, that power is expended in order to extend our hegemony onto that tile, essentially. And so if they have 2 power and we have 3 power, they would spend their 2 power, lose it. We would spend our 3 power, lose it, and go down to 0, and we would win the combat and get that tile. We would also get a star for winning a battle, and so on and so forth. These are combat cards right here. These allow you to actually... Oh my god, there's a whole unfoldy thing too. I didn't know there was an unfoldy thing. This will allow you to... It basically allows you to augment your power in combat from what I've seen so far. Most of the combat cards that I've seen are just like +2 to power in a combat, +3 to power. So in that case, with this guy right here, if he had 2 power and we had 3 power, we could attack him. We could expend 0 power. We could play a card that would raise that up to 3. And assuming they didn't play a card, we could just win by default without expending any of our logistical capacity, which is kind of cool. Like, there's weird, sneaky things you can do with this game in order to kind of juke your opponent and make them feel terrible. And so we've got a number of options at the bottom, too. These are all the actions you can take. And so right here, we have Produce. What Produce does is for every single worker we have on a territory, we get 2 hammers. And if we play a hammer on a tile, they will produce whatever the thing is that you get from here. So this one, it produces metal. This one right here produces population. This one right here produces food. This one produces oil, so on and so forth. That one produces wood. So actually, we've got a really good starting spot. We can actually produce pretty much everything in the game right now without having to dip into enemy territories. That's kind of a big deal for this game. That kind of feels good. It's sort of nice. We've also got the ability to trade. Or I guess, yeah, there's trade right there. I was going to say. We can do action popularity gain. I mean, there's a top and there's a bottom row action on each one of these. And so we can produce, we can do trading, and so we can pay 1 coin, and we can trade for any other resources that we want twice. This one right here, we can pay a coin, and we can get a popularity by just giving it to the population, basically. This one right here is Bolster Power. We can pay a coin to increase our logistical capacity by 2, so that would take our power up to 5. We can pay a coin to get an action card, just in case we wanted to get into a combat. We can move. So that's all done and taken care of. We can also just gain a coin if we want to. Other things that we can do down here is we have upgrades. So if we have like 3 oil, we can actually take that 3 oil, and you'll notice some of these right here, they have one that's grayed out. You can actually increase the efficiency of these top cards right here. So instead of gaining 1 popularity by donating 1 coin right there, we would get 2 popularity for 1 coin, because apparently we had dumped a bunch of oil on it, okay? Don't ask me exactly how it works. We just spill a bunch of oil all over the place, and for some reason, throwing gold on top of a pile of oil makes everybody like us more. That's just the way it goes in Eastern Europe, okay? I don't know the specifics or understand why it works that way. It just does. We can also pay 4 metal to deploy a mech. Mechs are combat units that allow you to extend your range. They can also allow you to transport your workers around, so you can load your workers onto the mech and move them. They act as a defensive unit for a tile that will like add to your power and make it so that you can engage in an area if the enemy tries to hit you. We can build structures. Structures have all kinds of random bonuses that they do, like the mine will allow you to take any. So let's say we built a mine right here. It will allow you to basically move a unit from this tile to any tile with the tunnel marking from your mine, which allows you to basically jump through the enemy lines and do all kinds of crazy stuff. You can build a mill, which makes it so like every time the enemy does like anything, you get coins. There's a bunch of different buildings and things like that, and honestly, I haven't had a chance to sift through every single one, but hopefully during this little 20-minute, 30-minute play, we'll be able to find, you know, something cool to do with it. And then on this side, we can also enlist recruits. And so we can spend food to get an ongoing bonus for any bottom row action, which means that we pick a bonus, and anytime we play the bottom half of any of these cards, that bonus will come into play, and we'll get like 2 free coins, or we'll get like 2 free oil, or we'll get like 2 free popularity every time we do anything, because we have like a propaganda minister or something like that. That's how I lure it out in my head. And so we need to do some stuff right now. This is our home base. There's an event right there, and there's an event right there. Events usually will give you an opportunity to gain a bunch of resources or do something interesting. I believe we get to pick 2 of these cards per turn, as far as I know. And so the first thing that I would do, we can produce. Yeah. Let's produce. So we've got a new worker right there, and we've got a metal right there. I can pick up that metal if I wanted to have that metal, but I'm actually going to start getting mechs and stuff, and so I'm going to leave the metal there for right now. Our main character can actually move stuff around the map if they want to. Oh, we only get to pick 1 card per turn. I thought we got 2 per turn. Okay, never mind. We only get 1, as it looks, because these are no longer lit up down here. It says we can upgrade, but I'm pretty sure I don't have any oil, so I don't know why that's still lit up. But it is. It's still lit up, but we don't have any oil at the moment. We would have to send a worker over to here, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send a worker over to here. And actually, we're surrounded by rivers on all sides. Our little, like, home territory is actually in pretty good shape. So I'll probably send a worker over here to do the encounter. Next turn, I'll try to take her over to here and do that encounter as well. Maybe think about producing another worker right here so that I can take them over to this side and maybe claim a farm over there so I have food production as well. So then we'll have food, oil, and metal. The only thing we won't have is wood. But I think it'll work out for us. I think it'll be okay. So they're going to move. And they have moved their army onto the map. This person has played the trade card, and they have taken 1 coin and traded it for 1 oil. All right, so it's our turn again. I actually still really need to move people around. That's the big thing that I need to do right now. So let's take this little dude and move him over to there. Oh, I didn't confirm it. There we go. So let's take this little dude, and we're going to move him over to here. And then we're going to take this dude, and we're going to move them over to here. I don't think we have Riverwalk yet, though. So I don't think we can actually bypass any of these areas. Luckily, everyone else seems to be just as trapped as we are. And so we'll claim our territory and we'll figure out what we want to do. But I'm pretty happy with the way that that played out. So they're going to produce. They got 1 wood and they got 1 worker right there. They played the same way that I did. They played the move card, so they're going to move their armies around a little bit. And they played an upgrade. Oh, nice. Okay. And so they've chosen to upgrade 1 of their cards. Cool. Sounds good to me. It's back to our turn now. Production might be a really good idea. If we can get some oil, we can play the upgrade card a little bit later. Yeah. Might be a decent idea to put that on our production so that we can produce from 3 tiles instead of producing from 2 tiles per turn. Might give us a bit of a mechanical advantage right there. Let's do it. We're going to produce on 2 territories. I'm going to take another metal, and I'm going to take an oil right there. And so in order to upgrade, I need 3 oil. I wonder if they had a special ability, because I think they only had 1 oil over here. So they must have had a special ability that allows them to upgrade with 1 oil or something. Me thinkies. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. What was our special ability? Well, I thought we had Riverwalk, because it's listed right here. but it doesn't appear. I don't know. I'll have to try. I'll try to have to move or something like that and see if I can move around. We're gonna have to figure out some way to get across the rivers, though. Maybe I can get a mech that'll do it, and then once I build a mech and he's got the river walk ability, I can put my workers on the mech and transfer them across the river. The factory tile right here is very, very important. If you reach the factory tile, you get to select a special card that only you have. No one else has that card. You have that card, and it just gives you like a bonus. And so they're very, very varied in what they do. I don't know all of them. I've only seen a couple of them so far, but they're going to use the move action. So they've taken an event right there to get some extra popularity. They have produced workers on both of those tiles. I still think it's a really good idea for us to produce. Like, I think production is probably what I want to stick with for right now, getting oil and metal, because that means on the same turn, we'll be able to do an upgrade, and then the next turn, we'll be able to deploy a mech with Riverwalk, and then from there, we'll have to decide what we want to do, but I think that'll give us options for things that we want to do. Technically, I can move down to there and take that encounter token as well, but I can do the encounter token with a mech while I'm moving around grabbing all my workers too. So maybe I'll save that option for later and we'll just produce for right now. Maybe I should get another worker too, because technically I could produce 2 oil over here if I moved him down this way. We've got the 3 metal, though. This person's trading for resources. Okay. Oh, that's what they did. They traded for oil. Oh, wow. They're upgrading fast. They're upgrading, like, really, really fast. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, let's trade. We're going to produce oil over here and oil over here so that on the next turn we can... Oh, I should have done oil and metal. That was stupid of me. I should have done oil and metal. Oh, no! Oh, no! Is there like a do-over button? Is there like an undo button? Yeah, undo that. I don't want to do that. I made a mistake. There is an undo button, by the way. I really appreciate that. Undo buttons are nice. There we go. So now we're in a solid position. Oh, we can still take our bottom row action. Oh, cool. Let's do the upgrade then. Yeah, confirm it. We got to pick up 3 of those. There we go. And so we've got 3 of those, so we can make produce better. We can make popularity gain better. We can make bolster power better. We can make our move better. I think I'm going to make my production better. So I think we just accomplished that. I'm almost positive that we just made that thing happen. And in so doing, we also upgraded our ability to build mechs, so it doesn't cost us 4 metal to make mechs anymore, it costs us 3. So I guess I got 2 upgrades, because now I produce at 3, and I also... Alright, I thought you only got 1 upgrade. I learned a new thing today, everybody! I learned a new thing today, everybody! Yikes, we're going to have to get on our production here. We're going to have to get on our production hard. Alright, our turn we're going to produce. We should have 3 hammers now. So there's a hammer, and there's a hammer. We've got ourselves a new worker. I'm going to start pumping out workers up there. Trust me, I'm trying to build up our war effort right now. I'm trying to get the war chest taken care of. Oh, they're going to build a mech, aren't they? Oh, really? They upgraded their recruit option, and then they upgraded something else. Okay, so they're doing a whole bunch of upgrades. Did I get a star for that upgrade that I did? Oh, 6 upgrades. Okay. Never mind, you got to upgrade a whole bunch of times in order for that to work. I've already got those guys up there. We are going to produce again, I think. I'm going to confirm that. Get 2 workers right there and another metal right there. And that's all we're going to need to do for now. So they're bolstering power. That means that they've got, like, intangibles at the moment. Oh, they produced a Polania mech. Okay. Alright. They're going to start expanding pretty soon. We got to be careful about this. Oof. And they're banging out upgrades really, really fast. Then again, nobody else has as many workers as we have either, so maybe that'll work out for us in the long term. In the meantime, we need to produce a mech. I'm going to confirm that. Do you really want your top row action and only take the bottom one? No. I mean, that's not what I want to do. Let's go with Bolster Power, I guess. I mean, technically I could produce again, but we would lose all the bonuses from up there. I guess I'll move people for right now. Yeah, let's consider moving people around. You go over to there. You go over to there. And then our bottom row action, right? Wait, I thought I said we got a top and a bottom. So I did a top, and then a bottom? Splatty is confused. Splatty didn't read good. Either way, I've moved units around where I wanted them to be. They just spent a bunch of food to enlist. I get the feeling we're kind of like losing right now. I kind of feel like the AI has accomplished a lot more things than I have accomplished during my limited time on this sphere, and it's beginning to worry me. Alright, so we've got people all over the place. I want to go with a mech. And then we'll give the mech river walk, and we're going to deploy it right there. So we've got a Russian mech. Great Russian engineering. We will go through and fight with the enemy. And now we can cross the rivers. That is good. That means I can take worker. Take him down here, take him up there, take him over there. Take worker just about anywhere I want to take. So they traded for metal over there. Let's maybe... Oh, I get what they're saying. So you can do the top row action and the bottom row action on the card, but you can't do a top row action from here and like a bottom row action from over there. I get it now. They're in little, they've got little like icons and things up above them for their thing. I think we should probably produce and do another upgrade in all fairness. Like we are kind of losing. Oh, we can have, I thought we could have, like, I thought we could only have 6 workers. All right, that's cool. Let's go ahead and do an upgrade. We will confirm that. We'll pick up 3 of these guys. And let's upgrade our ability to gain power, possibly. And then we'll upgrade our ability to build structures. Sounds good. I'm feeling pretty positive about the way things are working. So what I'm going to try to do is deploy a mech there, put a bunch of workers on the mech, and take that tile right there that has the food on it so that we're producing every single resource in our territory. And then this mech will pick up like some extra workers after I produce more, bring them over here to grab wood. Basically, I'm trying to get every resource on the map so that I can expand out from there. But we have enough resources right now to build another mech. So that's really, really good. They're going to build... They've built a mine. That's very, very dangerous for us because they can travel from that tile right there to any tile that has that little mine icon on it now. That's a pretty dangerous place for us to be. And we've lost a little bit of power, but we should be able to get more power pretty easily. They have their first mech, so we'll have to watch out for that as well. That little guy is going to be a combat hazard. Over here, we can trade or we can gain popularity. I'm going to gain popularity for right now, I think. Although trading for wood or something else might be a good idea too. Let's go with the popularity gain, and then we're also going to deploy a mech. And this mech will have move between any village you control, people's army, and combat. If you have at least 1 worker, you can play an additional card. We'll go with speed, and we'll put this guy right here. I am going to have to do a little bit of finagling, I think. I'm going to have to move some stuff around if I... Wow, their upgrades are going quick, man. Their upgrades are going super quick. They are banging out upgrades right now. Yeah, I have no food production, which is really what's getting me into trouble. The Nords, they start with Riverwalk, which actually I think gives them a pretty solid advantage when it comes to early game territory grabbing. All of their units innately have Riverwalk, so they can just walk across rivers, and like no other army can do that, essentially, without getting upgrades first. Let's go with, so this little dude right here. So I'm going to have to play move. What does that do right there? Coin gain? Okay. I'm going to have to play... I don't have any wood. I don't have enough metal for another mech. Okay. So we'll do move. This dude right here... We want to transport 2 of these guys, and we want to bring them over to here. And so now we have them on a tile, which is really, really good for us because I can produce food now. I could have brought more workers with me if I wanted to, but I kind of decided to leave them over here. I'm also going to bring this unit up to here just in case we need to fight. We've got an event. So, we can humbly take orders from our superior officer, gain a combat card and 1 popularity. We can give a villager a ride home on our horse. We can pay 2 gold and get 4 wood. That's probably a really good idea. Or, we can threaten to create an avalanche with a bazooka. That'll give us we'll lose 2 popularity, but we will be able to enlist a recruit. I'm gonna gain 4 wood, I think. Can I redo that? Or once you pick, you've already picked? Okay. Oh, take. Alright, so we've got 4 wood right there. That means I can build a structure. We'll end our turn. Our territory is expanding. I like this game, though. It's kind of a cool little idea. I like board games, though. I've always been a big board game guy. Like, me personally, I love board games. I have dozens of board games in my closet. My biggest problem is finding people that want to play board games nowadays. Like, I'll be like, hey, man, you want to play a board game? And they're like, yeah, but why can't we just, like, play Call of Duty split screen or something? Or, like, jump on Discord and, like, you know, play some Tarkov. You know, people want to play video games, but there's something nice about a cardboard game nowadays with, like, physical pieces and stuff like that that you move around. And I think that's one of the features of this game that I kind of like. Like, it's enjoyable, but there is a lot of strategy here, and there is, like, every single turn matters in this game from what I can tell so far. Like, it's very, very easy to make mistakes. I'm going to pay 1 gold to gain 3 power, and then we're going to build a structure. What structure do I want to build? I don't know. So I can build... I can bolster. So we can do a mill, which I guess bolsters our production. I can build a armory, which boosts our power. I can build a monument, which boosts our popularity. Or I can build a mine, which boosts our movement. I'm going to go with a mill. And we'll put that right there. So it appears as though every time we produce now, we'll gain a coin, a popularity, and a power. That's pretty baller, dude. That's a pretty good bonus. That means that, like, even when we're doing other stuff, we're getting paid for it. We're getting paid for it. This game is called Scythe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit of a complicated game, and it took a lot of explanation. And honestly, like, it takes a bit of playing to get a firm grasp of the mechanics and everything. You've seen me do it during this episode, as there was little things that in theory I knew you could do, but I wasn't quite positive exactly how in execution they could happen. But the game is called Scythe. Check it out down below in the description. I'll have a link for you so that you can get the game for yourself if you wanted to. This game is a sponsored video from the developers over at Asmodee. So thank you very much for sending the game on over and giving me the opportunity to play it. If you liked this video, hit it with a like. It helps out more than you know. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in indie gaming every single day so that you don't have to. Take care, everybody, and hi-do.